Good day, Internet viewers. I'd like to introduce to you my Performance Center Smith & Wesson 629 Snub Nose. I purchased this firearm with the intent of it being a general purpose firearm. Now, I'm filming with one hand today, so I can't actually show you the function check, but it is clear. This firearm can be used for self-defense. You can carry it in a holster fairly comfortably with a decent holster all day long. You can also use it for hunting purposes at less than 50 yards, and also for backpacking in dangerous country where there might be wild animals that might give you some grief. So this is why I purchased this firearm, is to get that general purpose concept. However, I have had some concerns with it. First of all, they originally come with those wooden grips, which are beautiful, but they don't do much for recoil management. In fact, with full house loads with those wooden grips on there, it will take a huge chunk out of your skin. It is a real barker with those full-powered 44 Magnum rounds. So I replaced it with a pack mirror decelerator grip. As you can see, that made a significant difference. That pack mirror grip is incredible. It really takes away the bite. Also, it does not interfere with my reach. I have pretty average sized hands, and as you can see, I can pretty quickly and pretty easily reach that trigger and index it properly. So, but that little bit of cushion right there does take it away from the pain from shooting a snub nose 44 Magnum. The trigger on this is great, as you'd expect from a Smith & Wesson. However, this one is going back to the manufacturer. As you can see, this is a Performance Center weapon, so it should be pretty flawless. I mean, this is a $1,000 pistol. This cylinder release sketch is rather loose, and tightening that screw does not help. Also, one time while firing 44 Magnum 300 grain hunting rounds, which are very heavy recoiling rounds, this lock tried to semi-lock up on me. So the cylinder wasn't rotating, it was kind of catching, and I had to wiggle it a little bit, and then it finally came loose. That's not something I want to happen on my defensive firearm. That lock needs to be removed. We did shoot several hundred rounds through this firearm to get used to the recoil. As the previously mentioned, 44 Magnum 300 grain hunting rounds. Those are brutal kickers, but do the job downrange. Your basic run-of-the-mill 240 grain 44 Magnum rounds, and also some 44 special rounds. Sorry, that's 44 special rounds. And those rounds are really good. They don't hurt. They don't kick too much. They're pretty manageable. And then the 240 grain hunting rounds previously mentioned. Now that's just a sample of what I fired through this firearm. We did use core bonds. We used 44 specials. We used gold dot 44 specials, gold dot 44 magnums. All those are great. When carrying this firearm, I actually use the gold dot 44 magnum rounds. They're kind of in between the full house 44 Magnums and the specials, and are very controllable, certainly with the pack and grip on it. However, one final problem or concern with this firearm is barrel alignment. Again, this weapon has been cleared, but as you can see, let's see if I can get it in the light a little bit better, that barrel is on there crooked. Now what that did is it made it so I could fire accurately within 20 yards. It wasn't too much of a concern. I was able to adjust the sights and compensate that. So I was able to adjust those sights, and at that 20-yard mark, it was not a problem or concern. However, when I took it out to the 50 and 100-yard mark, at the 100-yard mark, those 44 special rounds were about a foot to the left, and the heavier 240 grain or the 300 grain 44 Magnum rounds were actually 3 feet to the left and 1 foot high. Totally unacceptable from Smith & Wesson. Totally unacceptable, certainly on a performance firearm. I've done some research on the internet. It looks like this is a common problem. This one's going back. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or not because, well, I think they lost a customer. We might be looking at some other manufacturers for our revolvers in the future. Please let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Message me in the box below, and I will respond. Thanks.